Then I have another story that maybe it's one of the success stories. We have so many.
Good.
That made me feel very proud over time in my life. Because I was invited to be the face of Avon a long time ago, a long, long time ago. I was the first person they used, the first celebrity they offered this job to be their face. And at the time I was young, great skin. I could sell some makeup. And I had other opportunities, maybe more glamorous. And I was very excited about Avon because I think it's a fantastic company. And I was already working with domestic violence, so I said, I'd love to do it, but if you become my partner in the cause of domestic violence. Now they had a tradition, and they have done an amazing job for cancer, for breast cancer especially. And they said, well, we're very well identified with this cause for years. It's part of what we do. We're super good. And I begged them and I said, please, let me at least just use your infrastructure. I'll give you part of my money so that we can do it. I just have a lot of plans. And eventually I convinced them to work with domestic violence. And I'm very proud to say we did really, really, really good work. They have raised, since then, more than $100 million for domestic violence. We went to Congress and changed law. We raised a lot of money. We raised a lot of awareness. But the first idea I had, and this is a long time ago, was to use their brochures to give the number for the hotline. So women didn't have to go look or research how could they get help. But they had it. They were passing it on one to another in this brochure where they would buy makeup and things for their house. And so that was huge. The next thing we're working with the hotline is that I was able to make sure that they had people answering in Spanish and other languages 7 days, so 24/7. And this was incredibly successful. We worked with many. I'm boring you, but the point is that was a really huge success story, and they're a wonderful company.
And it's important to have the success stories because often the work can be frustrating as well.
Yes, and by the way, I stopped working with them as the face of, and I kept working with them as an activist.
What has made you such an activist? Was it from your childhood? Did you grow up, your family helping others and saying this is something you must do? How did you become an activist?
It's a very strange question for me because everybody asks me this question. And especially like, why domestic violence? Do you come from domestic violence? No. Did you experience it at home? Never. Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why are you an activist? And they ask me this question and my head thinks, why don't you? To me, it's not how did you become an activist. I don't know if you become an activist, but you have to not think about who you become and put a label in what you do, but more about what kind of a human being you want to be, yes, and even most importantly, what kind of a world you want to live in, and what's your participation in this dream. It's not just about, I want the world to be like this. It's what's your contribution. Everybody can do a contribution. It's not about money. Even kindness can be a contribution to the world you want to be a part of. And so I am a dreamer. I want this world to be great. So I try to have my own contribution.